The Cuban population is one of the largest immigrant communities that we have here in Louisville. And so today we are at Sweet Havana, one of the Cuban restaurants, and we're about to try some of the sweets and food that they have to offer. So join me today at Dining Around the World in Louisville.
In the morning, around 4 o'clock, it opens up.
Pan con lechon
Roasted pork shoulder
in the Cuban break.
and Cuban bread sandwiches. Everything that happens that is related to bakery, for example, the empanadas, the bread, the pastries, everything is elaborated here. Everything that we sell at the store.
This one is authentic Cuban food. The food and pastry is amazing, awesome.
Margarita and Nacheli, thank you so much for having us this afternoon and for coming out into your beautiful restaurant. So let's start with just your story. You shared with me about coming to Louisville, but also coming to the United States. Maybe you can share, where you came from and how you got to Louisville.
Claro que sí, gracias por tenerlos a ustedes aquí.
We left Cuba in '98, seeking freedom, and we left Cuba to go to Cartagena, Colombia, and that's how, through Cartagena, Colombia, we eventually made it here to the United States. So when we got to the United States, we lived in Miami for about 2 months. At that time, it just didn't feel like that was the place of opportunities for us. It just didn't make sense when we got to Florida. So we shortly after being here, we moved to Las Vegas. Las Vegas is the hospitality, capital of the world, the culinary, the hotels, tourism, and so there was a lot of jobs opportunity at the time there. My mom started, when she moved there, she got her foot in the door as a housekeeper in one of the hotels there. So that's where we started our culinary journey. It was in Las Vegas. My dad and my mom, they have always loved being in the kitchen, cooking, both of them. And so they started with a small little bakery there. Their niche market was to sell to different hotels, casinos, and schools, sugar-free desserts. There weren't a lot of bakeries that were wholesaling that. And so they started with servicing that specific market, which was sugar-free cakes in the buffets and the casinos and the restaurants.
Pero la misma comunidad cubana.
It was our own Cuban clientele. Las Vegas has a big Cuban population, and they started asking for it. They were the ones that they knew, this is our typical, authentic type of desserts. We knew how to make them, and we started playing with the idea of maybe putting a little bit of flan or a little tres leches or a little pastry. They took well to it. They started asking for it, and so we had a retail side that was very Cuban, and we had a wholesale side that was a sugar-free, for the hotels. Yeah.
Nos fuimos a Miami.
So they went to Florida thinking that, hey, let's just go over there so we can retire there. Naturally, I think just looking for the warmer climate and the community, and so they moved to Florida and thinking, in a couple of years we would retire here, and it was a brutal reality that Florida is, if you're not going to go there to work, 2-3 jobs, it's very hard to make a living. And so after being in Miami, they were met with the opportunity to come here to Louisville, and she said, this is the greatest city. It's given us so many opportunities, and so in 2020 is when they started here at what was formerly Havana Bakery Cafe. We did start with a partnership with another Cuban family that had a grocery store and a cafe. And they eventually did not want to continue in business.
And how did you hear about Louisville?
So my sister, she moved to Louisville with her husband. Her husband was already living here. He is part owner of Olay Restaurant Group, and so my mom came here as their pastry chef. So the opportunity for my mom and my dad to come and work in their family business and help them, and that was the opportunity. I mean, Louisville just had a lot of amazing, opportunities for employment, but they're the ones that called us and said, hey, there's a market, there's a need here, we need you. So she's very thankful for the opportunity. When we started here, it was there was one cook, but it was my dad and my mom doing all the pastries, teaching all of our recipes, doing most of the work. We had one person servicing our clients outside to being able to serve them. And then we had a very limited kitchen staff. And over the years, we've grown to 18 employees. And that's largely in part to the support from the community, not just the Cuban line community, but really the Louisville community that has supported our business to be able to give people the opportunity to have jobs and employment and serve our community. So we're just very grateful for the community. This wouldn't be possible without the employees. No one really knows how hard they work and how much effort they put into every day. Everything that is made here is made from scratch. So they're workhorses, and we're a big family. We work really, really hard. Our employees is really the heart and soul of our business because they treat us like family. We treat them like family. We spend holidays together. We spend birthday parties. We're there for each other outside of work and at work, and it just wouldn't be possible without them.
We saw a lot of that today, how the employees really have kind of that close-knit family, and it's great to see.
And it's known that in the restaurant industry, employees hang out with each other, but they hang out with us. They spend Christmas and the holidays with our family, and so we really, we're so grateful. A lot of them came here with nothing, and this is their first job in the States, and just for us to give them an opportunity and for them to reciprocate with so much effort and hard work.
Did you receive any services from the city or state, or who would you say was the biggest support for you to grow your business?
We have a lot of regular customers who come in, and they'll see her at 6 in the morning, at 7 in the morning, at 4 p.m., at 8 p.m. They say, "Why are you still working?" And the question that follows is, "What can I help you with?" And so there's a lot of people who just simply say, "What can I help you with?" around the community in different job positions, whether that's in for city or in the private space. They've come in and they've really taken to that. We have the employees here. It's not just Cubans who work here. We have many nationalities. We have Guatemalans, Mexicans, Hondurans. So there's a lot of support from all areas there. So we're trying to expand and open the next location, and that's what we're focusing our goals in, is to be able to bring this to more people, this experience that you have when you come here.
Was there any special dish in Cuba or something from your family that inspired you? Or was this a passion that kind of evolved over time?
So when we were in Las Vegas, there were a lot of Cubans, but there wasn't a lot of places to buy a Cuban bread or a Cuban product for that matter. And so that is something that, when she would go to a party or something, she'd have to make it or bring it. And so that's kind of what started it, the cake side of things. And she enjoyed decorating. She enjoyed making, flans at home. It's my grandma's recipe. And so all of those things is kind of what got us started on the baking side. Now, why we've chosen to do restaurant and bakery at the same time is really because when you're having a birthday party, right, you have to order the cake here. And then you go and pick up the salad here, and then you go and pick up a little bit of food over there. And one of the things that is convenience. You come here, and if you want an event space, we have that as well. So you can pick up your cake, pick up your food, pick up, all of these things, and you have an event space. And to my mom's point, she said, and whatever we don't have, we'll find it for you. So if you need somebody to, whatever it is that we can supply to make your life and your experience easier. The food part she's always loved. And like I said, my parents both love to cook. They love being in the kitchen. So the food part came naturally to them. It was just piecing them together that felt right. When we came here and we were in Miami and we decided, Vegas is the next step, our family in Las Vegas said, "Don't come here. There's nothing Cuban. And there's nothing, you can't get anything here." And so at that time, she's like, I didn't have clothes. I just had the clothes on my back. We had just gotten to the States. And so they gave me a suitcase, and I filled the suitcase up with coffee because we didn't think that there was going to be Cuban coffee in Las Vegas. And really, a Cuban can't function without coffee. So we had about 20 cases of coffee in our suitcase, and we got stopped at the airport, and they asked, what are you doing with all this coffee? And he said, they told me they didn't have any Cuban coffee in Las Vegas. And then upon arriving in Las Vegas, the one apartment that she ends up at had a little corner store, Cuban corner store, that sold avocados and coffee. So she didn't even have a need for all the coffee that she brought, but they did have avocados and coffee. So
thank you again for sharing about your story, your background in the restaurant. So I hear the food is great. I've tasted your food, but I'm looking forward to making some of the food today and testing some of it as well.
Are you ready to make a Cuban sandwich?
The Cuban bread for sandwich. I make it for Cuban sandwich. It's a 1 and 2 and 3 sandwich for every day.
Okay. Okay, so we're cutting.
Yes.
Okay. That's good?
Yes.
All right.
Opening. Okay, sometimes people is no me.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's put some. Yes.
And
Good,
put it
good,
down.
okay. All right. All over?
Yes, more. That's it.
Okay.
Just put it out the hands.
So we're doing all of it?
Yes, all of it. Okay, now is the cheese.
All right.
More. Is outside.
Okay.
Más importante now is the pork.
Okay, so you have ham and pork.
Pork.
All right.
The secret is that one.
Do you make this here?
Yes.
Okay, good. So what's in the sauce?
Lo que cae, lo que suelta el puerco, ahí está.
Oh, so I put it
And
after
the-
the pork.
Garlic,
Mhm.
pepper, and salt.
Okay. Garlic, pepper, and salt. Okay. That's good. Oh, mustard?
Yes.
All right.
That's it.
That's good. Okay.
Yes. And pickles.
Okay, we have pickles. How much?
4.
4.
That's it.
Okay.
Simple.
And you're done?
Done.
All right.
And now,
Okay.
that's it.
That's it?
It's
Okay.
for 3 or 4 minutes. It's ready for serving
eat.
for the sandwich.
Oh, great.
It's more popular here.
All right. Awesome. It's a huge piece. We're making congres. What are the ingredients and how do you make it?
The congri is black beans, rice, pork belly, garlic, onion, and pepper.
Pepper.
Paste and
Cumin.
oil. The first is the cooking for the black
Black
beans and water.
How long?
It's for 20 minutes
20 minutes.
for
Bailey.
Baileys.
And then on the side, we make what we call the sazon. The sazon is the onions, garlic, peppers, and we add pork belly to the sazon. Then what we do is we add salt, oregano, and cumin.
Sounds very delicious.
And is the congri.
Oh, so that's the finished product. Wow. That looks amazing.
These are all the pastries and all the desserts that are going to go out on the display case outside. They prepare them throughout the day and they refill the case. As they're bought, they're just being refilled. The Señoritas is one of the most popular desserts that we have. It's a cracker layered dessert. It has a vanilla cream custard filling and it has many levels of powdered sugar on top. And this is a very traditional dessert. It's one of people's favorites. And then on this side, we have our famous tres leches. And tres leches translates to 3 milks. It's actually 4 milks if you count the dulce de leche that's on top. It's a cake layered, soaked. We leave it soaking for hours in condensed milk, evaporated milk, whole milk. And then we put the whipped cream right on top with a dulce de leche, which is a burnt caramel, essentially. This one's also very popular. And if you like ice cream, I highly suggest freezing a tres leches. When you go into it, you're going to get that very creamy, almost ice cream-like cake. So it's very delicious, highly recommend it. Our staple is going to be the Cuban pastry because the puff dough that we make here is our secret bread and butter. And our guava as well that we make, it comes from Dominican Republic. There's a whole, secret recipe behind it. So the guava filling that goes into all of the desserts and the puff pastry is our staple. These are the desserts, the sweet treats that people really come to find.
I'm joined with Councilwoman Betsy Rui for District 21. Councilwoman, could you tell us about your district and some of the distinct features of your district?
District 21 includes big pieces of Preston Highway. This section is Fern Valley Road. We've got a lot of that. And we have the airport, the fairgrounds, and then we have the Southern Parkway neighborhoods. And one of the nice things, the interesting things about our district is 1 out of every 4 citizens is an immigrant.
Yeah,
And so as a result, we have amazing restaurants.
absolutely. You have one of the largest immigrant population in any of the districts.
We're number 1.
You're number 1, so followed by District 2, I believe. I'm assuming you get to try all the various foods in your district that's from all over the world.
I sure try. Yep.
And that's good. And one of the things too that I appreciate so much is the community outreach and engagement that your staff and your team does, because I think that creates that sense of welcoming and belonging for our community.
Yeah, well, it's really important that everybody has a voice in what's happening in their community. And I know many immigrants are coming in from places where they probably didn't have that voice. And they don't even know they can complain and ask for something. So there's a whole lot of education. I know it's mind-blowing moving. I can't imagine moving somewhere where you can't speak the language, you don't know how everything operates, and then you don't even know you have a right to something.
Yeah. So why do you think, for the city as a whole, but also for any other council member, why do you think it's important for us to have all of these various cultures and cuisine and languages represented in the city?
It makes the city dynamic, it makes the city interesting, and it makes for better ideas when you're planning things. If everybody in the room looks the same and comes from the same background, your ideas for solving a problem tend to all look the same.
Yeah.
So you want that diversity of viewpoints when you're trying to make our city a better place to live.
And the world has become that diverse, so it only makes sense that, the cities and the states and our countries look like the world.
Absolutely. It's not fair for one group of people to be telling another group of people, this is how you fix your problem.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for joining us, and thank you for being with us. We timed it very well. Okay.
The Cuban sandwich.
I made that, by the way.
Ese es uno de los platos más vendidos aquí, muy tradicional.
So this is one of the most popular dishes here. It is a Cuban dish that consists in cassava with the mojo on top, pork chunks, and also con grillos. These are Cuban tamales.
I love tamales.
Yes.
Oh, wow. We are now joined by Councilor Betsy Rui and Ashkan Azari from District 21, who border parts of in this area. Your district is in this area. So just getting ready to sample some of the food that we've made today. We're also joined by Vivian Marin, our program manager for the Office for Immigrant Affairs, who's helping us with interpreting, but also with all the history of the food. So we are ready to dig in. You all ready? Ashkan, you have not had the
Yucca.
yuca, right? Okay, so let's start with that. It's a root, cassava root. No, the white. Let's start with that.
That's good.
So it's a starch. It's like potato. Yeah. What is it called?
Yes.
Una raíz, a root.
Es una root.
So is it full of fiber or what? Does
Oh,
it
yeah.
have?
Very
Oh, yeah.
Fiber and carbs.
Carbs. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Sí, es
You
un
can
carbohidrato.
also eat it after it's boiled. You can also fry it. So it's more kind of like a French fry texture.
What's in the tamales?
Es el maíz. Que es-
The tamale is made with corn.
Yep.
It's grind corn, and then it is made with spices, onions, and peppers as well.
What's the story of plantation? Like, is it only as a snack or with dinner, or is it
One
also
factory.
consumed with like a snack?
Es un acompañante.
Cuban cuisine, it is something that comes on a side, and we cannot do without it.
Okay.
Okay.
It is
I love it.
delicious.
It's great.
Yeah,
Oh
you
yeah,
look
plantain is the best.
Delicious. How do you say delicious?
delicioso.
Delicioso.
Yeah. Enjoy.
No, muy delicioso.
Yes.
Yeah.
After seeing how this is made, I'm excited to see.
Did you make any of these? No, just the rice. Do you like the rice? So we really have to taste it.
You have to, yeah.
Okay.
What are your thoughts?
It's really good.
On all Cuban parties, it is not a party if you don't eat the pork, the roasted pork, the congri, the black beans and rice, and the yuca. There's a combination that is a must.
You have to.
Okay. So what do we put the lime on?
The lemon for la carne, for the pork.
For the pork. Okay. That's next then.
What do you think about the food, and how do you like it so far?
I think
So-
this was really good so far. I want
Yes.
to try the meat
Yes.
that you put lime on.
Yeah.
That's the pork, the roasted pork.
Roasted pork.
Yes.
Oh, nice and tender.
Margarita wants to know if you have tried the cassava before.
Oh, yeah. See.
Not necessarily having to be from Cuba, just anywhere in Latin America. It reminds you of home.
Yeah.
The combination of the foods and
How do you make it so soft and tender and it's like melting in the mouth?
Eso es un secreto de la casa. Secret del house.
You can go making it the same way. You want to take the business, huh?
No, I just want to make it at home. Or I should come here.
I'm recipe for you, no problem.
Okay.
Only you.
Okay.
it has a two-way method of
You're not
cooking.
getting that?
You know, with baking and the frying.
Okay.
Yes, and it's and
Bake.
You don't boil it? I thought maybe you
No,
boil it.
no, you don't do that.
Mm.
Now you have to
And
tell
don't
me
eat
how I
the
did.
flag.
I promise you I won't eat the flag. Mm.
So, I did well? Good.
You did just fine, almost.
Okay, Amos, I'm ready
All right.
to
Tell
give you your score.
Give me the score.
I think you're gonna fall in love with that sandwich.
Oh, it's
Sounds
really
like he's
good.
already
I
falling
wish
in
like
love.
if it was like very fresh, the melted cheese,
Oh, yeah.
ham.
Here at the restaurant, we sell about 50 to 60 Cuban
Cuban
sandwiches
sandwich.
a day.
Day.
I believe it.
Yep, I can see that.
So tell me what soursop is. What's the fruit?
Esa es la guanábana, yeah?
Soursop is a tropical fruit, and then we purchase the pulp. And when it comes to us, we mix it depending of the sweetness with a little bit of water.
Okay, what's it look like?
It's a little sour. It's not like
Yes, it's a little bit sour. It's green in the outside, white in the inside, and it has hits.
Uh-huh.
Has black flecks in it, right?
Yes.
Do you
Okay.
make the bread here?
¿Usted hace?
Yes.
Yes. Really good.
El ajo, lleva limón y la cebolla.
Cubans take a lot of pride in the mojo. The mojo is the sauce that goes on top of the cassava, of the yuca. So it is prepared also with pork, the pork fat, and then with lime and onions, and it has cumin, it has different spices in it, and then it just rests and makes the yuca very sleepy and tasty.
the sauce we made with the sandwich also had pork fat. So
It's a must.
everything is with pork. Yes.
That's the traditional and the favorite meat
Yeah.
for Cubans, the pork.
Yeah, I always saw this, they cook this big, like on the beaches, the big pork. It's like rolling on the fire.
Yeah.
The
So
whole
appetizing to watch that. Like, yeah. Do you do that in your kitchen?
We can do half of it.
Half of it.
If not, it would be too large.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now we need to slice the tamale.
Oh, yes.
I love tamales.
I really like the sandwich too. I think with the bread and the cheese, like I would put it in the microwave for a little bit more and then eat it again.
Every food I'm making here, the bread,
everything is
everything.
made here.
Yeah, I could sense the freshness and tenderness of the bread, which was awesome. Cuban culture seems like Persian, like it's full
Yeah,
of food.
yeah, full of
There's
food
no
at the
room in your
table.
dish. You just
Yeah.
have to be.
Like?
Really good.
It's supposed to be sweet.
No.
No.
Honduran makes a sweet tamale.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, if you go to Costa del Sol, they've got a little sweet one, and it comes with a kind of a cheese with it.
It's almost everything in this dish like melts in your mouth. Like you don't
does.
need to do
Oh,
much
it's got
effort.
whole kernels of corn in it.
Is it corn?
Yeah, I can taste it too.
It's amazing.
Really good. Gracias.
More than 10. It's amazing. It's amazing. I've had yuca before. I've had the fried ones,
Fried?
but I've never had the boiled one here. So,
It's easy. It's only water and salt. That's it.
but the sauce on top makes it even better.
It's the secret for the.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so if you were to recommend to somebody, maybe from the office or from the community, one of the dishes you've had today, which one would it be?
For me, it's tamales.
The tamales were great.
I love tamales.
I was very surprised by the roasted pork. because it's not what I'm used to, and I didn't expect it to be as tender as it is.
Yeah.
So I would definitely recommend that.
I would say do not take my words. Come here and try it.
There you go.
Yeah,
Yes.
everything is excellent. And
Thank you.
we just want to eat, but the cameras are in the way.
They're watching you eat, Ashkan.
Thank you for joining me for this episode of Dining Around the World in Louisville. See you next time.